So here we have the compost ready to be built upon, and there's a bit of soil thrown on top of it here, and this here is on the top is soil mixed with some sand and some lime. So in a wheelbarrow there's maybe a shovel of lime. So this is hydrated lime, which is builder's lime, or it can be ag lime too, but I use calcium hydroxide, and it is or sorry, builder's lime is a mixture of calcium and magnesium hydroxide, and they turn into little crumbly bits of limestone when they're in contact with carbon dioxide. So they also buffer the soil so that it doesn't get too acidic. So when so it's plant food, buffers soil, whole lots of reasons to put it in. Plus it's caustic, so it'll kill some bugs. Here's peas, zucchini, Hilda Romano, so beans and basil. And the date up here is the the 5th of March 2021. So I put this over this for two reasons. It's for an airlift pump above, and to see how much water is dripping out of the pipe. More compost, half-rotten compost added, and now it's completely finished, and I've been putting in more plants, more seeds. Now I've set up a solar panel here, and I'm using a computer fan to blow air down through this, and there's the solar panel inside the greenhouse, and I'm going to use this as a kind of a heat thief in the greenhouse on the wall. I'll show you what I mean. So it's like that, and I hung a shower curtain over it, and the heat's supposed to be absorbed by the black in the middle, but it didn't work that well. And then I had up here, I had a airlift pump circulating water, and a bore scare to tip it in here. So wasn't working that wonderfully, so shortly after I got rid of the black in the middle. This is my new way of doing the computer fan. So computer fan attached to a yogurt container, and blows air down through it's called temporary plastic down pipe, and it's used on building sites. So there's the fan spinning, taking the moist air from close to the roof down, moist warm air down to the plants or to the soil. So I have two of them there. Oops, I missed one, I think. And tied them so that the air blew down and through the soil and down under through the water. There is my airlift pump to work the panel on the wall. So here's another. So this hasn't worked so yet in this case. More the same. Here's air at 22.9 being blown down, and 16.0 coming out the other end. So 6 and 6. So almost 7 degrees of a temperature drop. So 16 degrees, cool air coming out. The rest of the heat has been absorbed by the soil. There's 13, and not sure what we're doing there. Excuse me. Soil temperature on this date, the 11th of March, was 10 degrees to 10 to 11 to 11 and a half in various places in the soil. I checked the water temperature then too, and it was 6 degrees. So this is me designing the other planter. So I made a critical mistake here. I was trying to save space, so I thought I'll or have more plants, so I put this across here, and what it ended up meaning was I couldn't reach this corner or the other corner, so it was a mistake, and I should have extended this straight to the end. Anyway, I've got this. So after this I put in 6mm poly that went over this, and then I covered this with strips of wood, and this with strips of wood, and see they're both joined together. So this about 100 litres, about 120 litres, and they take water that drips down past the plants and to the airlift pump, and it pumps water back up again in a loop. Here it is again, and that's my other greenhouse. Ignore that one. There's the thing on the wall, on the back wall, to absorb heat. Here it is, 24th of March. Not much happening. Not much happening here. Now plants are up on, some plants are up on the 24th of March. This is, I guess, a bit rainy that day. This is from the the other greenhouse. Just a picture of one of the computer fans. Oh, and this looks like, I've changed. This is my roof experiment, where I put these, hang on, I'm just going to go back and pause it. So I put these on. Do you see the shape of them? So water comes down the roof, gets to here, drips down, and then same on this side, and it comes around and drips down. And I put these jars to see how much was collecting, and have them lower on the roof as well. And here we go. This is my let's stop this again. So this is the newer thing. So what I have now is I got some galvanized metal that was actually was up in the attic. Took it down and painted it black, and then it's used as a solar thermal collector. So water comes down here through the bore scare, drips down here, and takes the heat away from the hot metal. Sorry, I move around like lightning here. Crazy. So just going to show it here now. So this was my airlift pump into this. This tipped water when it was full. It tipped water, went in there down through the pipe. So it was intermittent, and it sent water to take away the heat, and the heat went down to the plants. So here it is the whole thing here, and it was a solar thermal collector on the north wall. I had thin plastic over the front of it to stop water from evaporating, so it would take the heat down without evaporating and causing high moisture in the greenhouse. This is just more of that. Lots of condensation here on the 14th of May or April. This I use, don't use indoor equipment in your greenhouse because it will cause it trouble. Now it's the 14th of May, and 34 degrees coming down, 24 coming out. And when there's a 10-degree difference, it means that there's probably some kind of condensation down there. So this air coming down is cooler and drier than the air going in, and we've collected some moisture and the heat of condensation in the soil down below, or sorry, in the water down below. Here's the plants now on that time, so a couple of months after planting them. I've got basil, runner bean here, a big what's that, mustard, squashes. So it's been going well. And in the lower planter there's tomatoes, cilantro probably, can't tell what the other plants are. More tomatoes, I don't know what that is. This is yellow is mustard there too. So this is a bore scare that runs the watering system in the upper planter. Here's the new bore scare for this system here, the solar thermal panel on the wall. So in this one was sending water down in a closed loop that was transferring its heat to the water in the bottom container. So it's another heat transfer device where you're sending the heat down so that it'll radiate away at night, keep the plants warmer at night, so even up the temperature. This is 24th of September, and you can see the lots of aubergines and peppers and etc., etc., etc. But the problem is you can't get in at the far end. It's just a mess. More of these, and here we have peppers here, peppers in the upper planter, Tommies, and I'll just go further, and this mess at the end where everything has come together, and I can't get into cut off side shoots off tomatoes, or just clear out, harvest New Zealand spinach, stuff like that. Aubergines, they were not a success for me. They got spider mites, even though pretty much nothing else did. Peppers were fabulous. There's more peppers. These are all extremely hot peppers. They were great. New Zealand spinach was spectacular growth in the far end of the greenhouse, but it was hard to reach to harvest it. More peppers, and this just gives you an idea of how much greenery was in there on the 9th of October. This was starting to harvest the peppers after clearing away the tomatoes on the 21st of October. oh yeah, measuring the length of one of the New Zealand spinach stems. So it was, I think it was 6 feet, so 2 meters long stem of New Zealand spinach, which I'd never seen before. This was the new planting, so what I planted here are Swiss chard and Welsh onions, and I couldn't reach this easily because of the way I had my airlift pump, so I kind of just left it there. This is another pepper. Just more the same. And here you see them on the 6th of November 2021. So the plants are picking up after their transplant. Peppers are still there, and peppers are doing great. New Zealand spinach, more of the peppers. This is my friend's greenhouse, so she saw my greenhouse and wanted something similar. So I built her shelves as well, like my shelves. So actually maybe I built her shelves maybe before I built mine. So built the shelves and set up airlift pumps at the far end of her greenhouse. Here's my pepper harvest. I what do you call this thing? Chopped them up and froze them. So basket of fire, 222 grams. I probably still got that. I haven't been using that much of them. I use them instead of salt, and they're crazy hot. Hot Portugal. This is Thai pepper, I think. Oh, upside down. Oh, I grew okra. I had one piece, so okra didn't grow well for me. Don't know how to grow it. Beans outside, tomatoes from the greenhouse on 17th of November. I might have already taken them all in at that stage and let them ripen inside. So, 17th must have been a cold night, so I got scared and brought in pepper. And this would be from my other greenhouse. Squash. Oh, sorry. I'll go back here. So now this is me replanting the upper planter on 24th of November 2021. So dug out everything, and oh yeah, I was taking out the peppers and putting them outside. I gave away some of these pepper plants because peppers are perennial, and I didn't hear back from anyone if they grew for them, but I grew some for myself and grew them the next year. Just there was a lot of worms in the upper in the upper planter. I asked about computer fans on a thing called Nextdoor, and a guy offered these for free. I did end up, I paid him a little money for them, but it was very nice of him, to give them to me for free for my experiments. So here's how you set them up. You put them like that and screw them on. They just go over the sides of the yogurt container. The screws do, and then you put the temporary plastic downspout down through the middle of the, or sorry, over the edges of it, and then you put it into its holder. So this is my friend's greenhouse. She has different plants. She's mostly Swiss chard, but she's also got, she grew lettuce. What's this? 11 or 12, 11. So this is the 11th of December last year. So she's got, oh yeah, she had flowers on her peppers. She had, and hers was the first one to have the insulation on the back wall. So flowers on her peppers. She's got seedlings down here. Not sure what they are. Can't tell. Oh, newly formed peppers. And then around Christmas Day we got really hard frosts and dull weather for about 10 days. So that killed off her peppers. But yeah, they were coming back. They were starting to grow well at that time of year, which was surprising to me. And then she had cilantro and stuff like that sowed in the ground, and she had, I think she had lettuces as well. Here's how mine pretty much is now. It's, or sorry, it's not exactly, but this is how it was in 2021 and 2022. So we had this planter like this one like this, and this part here I insulated shortly after. Here's my plants really starting to take off now, and it is 2022, 6th of February. Oh, I forgot to see the temperatures. 6th of February. Oh, didn't bother looking ahead. And it's coming along. It's only 13. And it might go to the other end too. So, yeah, 13. And yeah, so the plants are starting to grow well. These looks like they had bird damage before I took them in, but you know, it was going pretty good at that time.